Word on the street is that Beyoncé is exhausted, mentally, physically, and emotionally. The music industry has drained her, and she's allegedly had enough. She feels trapped, pressured, and controlled. And according to multiple reports, she's planning a grand escape. Some even claim she once reached a breaking point so dark that she considered ending it all. And who does she allegedly blame for all of this? Her own mother, Tina Knowles. The Beyoncé drama over the past few weeks has been nothing short of insane. If you haven't been paying attention, buckle up, because this story is wild. Since 2022, Beyoncé has been working non-stop like a woman possessed. 2 back-to-back albums, 2 massive tours, and rumors of yet another album and tour already in the works. On top of that, she's diving into every business venture imaginable: perfume, hair care, whiskey, you name it. Allegedly, this intense work schedule isn't just about ambition, it's about survival. She's pushing herself to the limit to reach a specific financial goal, all while dealing with intense pressure from her family and team. But here's where it gets even crazier. Beyoncé isn't just working hard for the money. Allegedly, she's building an escape plan. She wants out of her controlling team, out of her mother's grip, and away from the influence of her husband, Jay-Z. And the industry is starting to notice. There have been whispers in Hollywood that something isn't right. Blind items have surfaced, painting a disturbing picture of what's really happening behind the scenes. One in particular claimed that at a major award show, her bodyguard had to chase after her because she has repeatedly threatened to flee the country. She's sick of being controlled, tired of being treated like a product rather than a person, and the people around her are terrified that one day she'll just vanish without a trace, and honestly, they should be. Reports suggest that Beyoncé is suffering from severe depression and has had dark thoughts about ending it all. Her team insists they're concerned for her well-being, but let's be real, what they're really afraid of is losing their golden goose. They've kept her under control for decades, but it looks like that control is slipping. Beyoncé, allegedly, is done. She wants to slow down, rest, and finally live life on her own terms. But her family, her team, they won't let her. Even the Renaissance tour, which was a global success, wasn't something she wanted to do. She was pressured into it, both to hit a financial goal that would give her true independence, and because her label and family pushed her to keep grinding.
This time, people are saying that they are certain that something really nasty is actually going on. And there have been quite a few blind items about the entire situation, like this one which said, industry insiders have been whispering about this for a while. If you are wondering why her bodyguard chased after her at the big award show recently, it's because singer has threatened to flee the country multiple times. She's done with the control, the pressure, and the handlers who make every decision for her. They're afraid she'll leave without notice, and they're right to be. Singer suffers from depression and has unaliving thoughts. Her team sees her as a danger to herself, but what they're really afraid of is losing their cash cow. They've kept her under control for years, but they won't be able to much longer. She's on the verge of rebelling. She's fed up with her mother's control. She's tired of her husband's influence. Based on this, Beyoncé doesn't want to work so freaking much anymore. She is exhausted mentally, physically, and emotionally because she's been doing this for decades, and she just wants to relax, rest, and finally live on her own terms. But her team and family won't let her. Allegedly, she didn't even want to do her tour, but she is doing it for 2 reasons: to reach a specific financial goal that will let her escape for good, and because her family and label are pushing her to work while she still can. Apparently, this is why the tickets were so expensive, and this is why she's suddenly diversifying her business moves. This is also why she's quietly buying property outside the US. There have also been allegations that lawsuits are coming because her finances aren't adding up, and that she's been spending more than she's making. And she's terrified of being trapped in this cycle forever.
That's why the ticket prices were through the roof, and why she's suddenly expanding into business ventures like never before. And get this, there are even reports that Beyoncé has been secretly buying property outside of the US. Why? Allegedly, it's part of her master plan to escape. But that's not all. Rumors are swirling that lawsuits are looming because her finances aren't as stable as they appear. Insiders claim she's been spending more than she's making, and she's scared of being stuck in this vicious cycle forever. But here's the part that really stings. Beyoncé is reportedly terrified of what could happen if she breaks free. She knows what happened to other icons when they tried to leave the industry or break away from their handlers. And that fear? It's keeping her quiet as she carefully plots her next move. Let's talk about her mental health. Beyoncé has opened up before about struggling with depression. especially around the age of 19 when Destiny's Child was going through major changes. She felt blamed for the group's problems, and it deeply affected her. But that wasn't the only pressure she faced. Her mother, Tina Knowles, allegedly played a huge role in making sure Beyoncé was always seen as the perfect one. There are stories about how Tina would tell the other Destiny's Child members to tan in the sun while making sure Beyoncé stayed out of it, ensuring she remained lighter skinned. But beyond the colorism, there was the constant pressure to be flawless. This controlling behavior didn't stop as Beyoncé got older. In fact, it allegedly got worse.
Unbelievable. About her finances, Beyoncé previously faced a tax dispute with the IRS over approximately $2.9 million in unpaid taxes, interest, and penalties from 2018 and 2019. And the IRS examined her tax returns and identified discrepancies in deductions and unreported income. Well, Beyoncé contested these findings in court, and she asserted that the IRS made several erroneous determinations and asked the court to rule that she doesn't owe any additional taxes for the years in question, and to grant any other appropriate relief, including a refund if it finds that she overpaid taxes owed.
And according to some sources, it played a major role in Beyoncé reaching her breaking point. Then there's the financial drama. You might remember that Beyoncé was recently in a dispute with the IRS over nearly $3 million in unpaid taxes, interest, and penalties. While she fought back in court, the situation raised questions about her actual financial stability. Some sources claim she doesn't make nearly as much as people assume, which could explain why she's throwing herself into so many different business ventures right now. And then there's the issue of her marriage. Insiders claim Beyoncé never truly wanted to be with Jay-Z in the first place, that she was pushed into the relationship by none other than her mother. A recent blind item described how a certain globally adored pop star was pressured into a relationship with an older rap mogul, despite feeling uncomfortable. Allegedly, her mother saw the marriage as a power move, one that would elevate Beyoncé's status and make her untouchable in the industry. But what Beyoncé didn't know at the time was just how dark her husband's past was, or how much she would suffer because of it. We've all heard the cheating allegations, stretching back to the early 2000s. But reportedly, Beyoncé is just done pretending everything is fine. She's allegedly over it, over the marriage, over her mother's influence, and over the industry that refuses to let her be free. And then there's the bodyguard drama. People have speculated for years that Beyoncé and her longtime bodyguard, Julius DeBerre, are more than just professional. Photos have surfaced of the two looking a little too close, including one infamous shot where Julius was seen leaving a hotel behind Beyoncé, with lipstick smudged on his lips. Allegedly, Jay-Z has always been suspicious of their relationship and even wanted to fire Julius at one point. But Beyoncé refused to let him go. Now, whispers in the industry claim that Beyoncé and Julius have grown closer than ever, and that he may even be part of her escape plan. Some believe that when she finally vanishes, it won't just be to get away from Jay-Z and Tina. It'll be with Julius by her side. At this point, people are saying that all these rumors about Beyoncé aren't just wild internet gossip. There might actually be something to them. She looks exhausted. She looks done. And when you take into account everything she's been through, the industry control, the marriage, the family pressure, it's not hard to believe that she's at her breaking point. So, is Beyoncé really planning to leave it all behind? Is her mother the mastermind behind the struggles she's faced? And is it finally time for her to walk away from Jay-Z? Now, let me know what you think in the comments below, because this tea is boiling.